Sup, nerds? I need to vlog right now. I need to vlog so fudging much. It wasn't obvious. We're at a movie theater, and I had a very particular person today that I talked to while having to be cordial and what's the word? Not rude. And it's really hard to not be rude to a racist person. I'm sure anyone can attest to starting a conversation with someone and then kind of divulging that they're racist. Not saying the word "I'm racist," but when a person says to you, "Oh yeah," and that's before I hated black people, or black isn't my favorite color, straight to my face, it's it's aggressive, it's honest. I appreciate honesty, but when someone asks me my opinion of Straight Outta Compton, I give them my opinion, and as I try to be as good with it as I can to do it well. However, being in LA, you'll also run into people who are, trying to do film type stuff, but feel that they've already paid their dues, and anything that hasn't happened for them yet that they want to happen is not their fault, but everyone else's. And of course, they're like, "Oh, how can I get this person to pay?" Sorry, this person. I'm gonna start over from the beginning. So, what ended up happening was, an older lady asked me, "Hey, you look like you would know. What's Straight Outta Compton about?" Seems simple enough, right? But it turns into like what the film means and things like that. And the film means many good things. I've already talked about it. Don't need to, right? But I will mention that it's interesting that she called NWA a bunch of criminals. Criminals that she helped fund her film that's about people trying to get out of a bad situation, much like NWA. However, she even mentioned, "Hey, I think they probably would have done the terrible things that happened to these women if they were around." And I tried my best not to elongate the conversation by saying something like, "You're wrong. You're completely wrong. And you're racist." Didn't say any of that. But I was pretty angry. And I let it go, especially because at the end of the day, what are you going to do? And it's not like her opinions were, I don't want to call them valid, because everyone's valid, right? But my thing was, hey, she doesn't have any power. She has the opinions that are shared by other people that make life unequal and unfair for many people, not just black people. Even thinking about that makes me think of her, because she's like, "Oh, it's about black people getting out of the ghetto," and I'm like, it's for more than just black people, though. It's about poverty and being treated unfairly, and that's what they're trying to get out by making this movie. Because she had the interpretation of, "Oh, they're filthy rich now, they don't have to worry about anything." I'm thinking in my head, more half the movie, or at least half the movie, is about them still getting into trouble and still having problems, even when they're starting to get famous, even when they have money. There's still so many traps, right? But it just gave me a lot of perspective. I'm not angry about it anymore, but I did wish that some of the people I brought it up to, my coworkers, had validated me a little bit more. But it's kind of funny because I felt like she was looking for validation, because she was trying to get me to agree with things she was saying. Even if all those things weren't blatantly bigot-like. So at the end of the day, I think that this film is really important because it's making people have all types of conversations, including the one I had tonight, even if it rubbed me the wrong way. And again, I'll say anyone who thinks that they wouldn't enjoy it because they don't like rap music or because they're not black, I think that you should definitely give it a chance because there's so much more about it than being black in America and things like that. It's very applicable, and there is a lot of sets and violence that kind of happens, but ironically, Eazy even says in the film, hey, this is a reflection of our community. This is why we rap about those things, because that is what we see. That is what is around us. If things were better, we'd be rapping about better things. There's a fly in my face. So, in the same vein, this film is essentially about what they saw and what they experienced. And I think the lessons that they've learned are applicable to life for anyone, really. So, have a good night, nerds. This was a vlog and a rant.